Welcome back to Keeping It Real with Mani and Lani. You are currently tuning in to episode 6, where we will be talking about our break and the new year. But first, let's start off with our segment, Are You Keeping It Real? When we discuss and analyze trending Twitter posts and decide whether people are keeping it real or not on Twitter. Mani, do you want to go first?
I got y'all, man. I'm ready. I've been waiting for this. So my tweet is someone tweeted, Trump been impeached more times than I've been cuffed. And then hella people in the comment were like, I feel that pain, LMAO. And I'm not gonna lie, like it's real for me. Like he genuinely has been has been impeached more times than I've been cuffed. So I personally feel attacked. Like I always thought that I was better than Trump in some way because he's just reckless. But he got that on me. So he one upped me with that one. But yeah. What's your tweet of the week? And also, do you think Trump keeps it real most of the time, but this really hit different. He tells me every day he hates my identity, but this is the one. He got me.
It's just really crazy because, like, we didn't need that type of tweet being put out there. Like, we didn't need that energy in 2021. And just, niggas was just thinking differently. Like, we really said block the good vibes.
Personally, I feel attacked just because, like, wow, it's Black History Month and I still don't have a nigga. So it's just a constant reminder, this Trump tweet really just hit different. I was like, damn, it had to come from my whole life. It's all good though.
Right. I'm Valentine-less, but BLM, right?
Bro, that's really my question. Like, you guys see, I have Black Lives Matter in my bio. Like, I feel like that is a call for other Black men to be in my DMs, but it's just not working. Like, I don't know what else to do at this point. Like, I tried.
It's really Black History Month and Black men are slacking per usual, but we ain't gonna start.
Oh, oh.
Okay, so my tweet is, someone said when a woman is done fooling with you, she start talking to you like she worked for HR. And then in quotations it says, I wish you well on your future endeavors. And when I tell you, I kid you not, I say this probably once a week to these trash ass people that be coming into my life. Like, we are taking away this negative energy, period. Like, I say this so much. Like, I really can work in HR. Like, I got it all down. No one is about to be fooling me today.
I feel like that's like if a woman says that to you, I feel like she's just so mad she's not mad anymore. Like that's for me personally. Like if I talk to a nigga in that tone, it's like I've surpassed crazy angry. It's like I'm so mad I'm chilling, bro. But it's scary because I feel like you should be scared if a woman ever talks to you in that tone after if you did her dirty, especially. She's just so mad she's not mad anymore.
All facts. I feel like one thing about it too is when I like, for me specifically, like when I do it, it's like I'm not even trying to be more disrespectful. So it's like I'm just trying to end it at that. But like if somebody replies to that, it just gets like 100% like, hi, like we about to get disrespectful. Like I'll really cover somebody's neck that day. Like we're not doing it.
It's like you took the high road. You're like, I'm not even gonna open these can of worms. I'm not even gonna do this with you anymore. So let's just end it here because we're gonna say some stuff we're both gonna regret. So let's just not do it. So yeah, I agree with you. If someone tried to provoke me after that point, then I'm like, you just want to fight because it took everything in me to not do that, and then you just did that. It's like now you just want to fight. Yeah, that's all facts though. We want to kind of jump back into our podcast, but kind of acknowledge that, we've been kind of gone. We kind of ducked, keeping you guys on your toes, a little worried about us. We
What's
just
up? We
disappeared.
ghosted y'all. What's up? Like a terrible relationship.
We fell off the face of the earth right quick. You feel me? We're back though. I mean, I think this is something that I was reflecting on because Lonnie was like, it's okay for us to take a break. Like, why do you feel like we got to explain ourselves? And it's not really about like explanation. I think it's more just like life happens and making our podcast, keeping it real with our title. Like, are we keeping it real with ourselves? Or like, do we have the time, the energy, and also just making sure we're giving out content that feels good? Because I genuinely enjoy recording our podcast because we're talking about things that like matter to us, but also we just enjoy the conversations we're having. So we're like, okay, we're hella stressed out, we got hella stuff going on, our lives are changing, we're involved in a lot of stuff. It's like we're not giving out the best content, we're just recording to record at that point. And I don't want this. I mean, for myself, I know that I'm going to be sad if I'm doing this podcast and I'm angry, because like that is just dead. Like I want us to both be happy in our full selves, you know? So I think that us addressing the fact that we took a break is more just like normal, like normalizing that sometimes you don't have the capacity to upload or have the energy to do everything that you want to do. But when you are doing it though, you're doing it to your, fullest capacity, healthy, well rested. So, and I also think like for us, we just had a lot going on. But yeah, Lonnie, how do you feel about our break and addressing that?
Yeah, I think it's like also important to acknowledge like this is a project that we decided to start um as a way of just us being able to express ourselves to the fullest. And one thing that we really wanted to promote through our content was like people just being able to listen and share experiences with us, and it wasn't about, just having like useless conversations, right? Like we want these to be like meaningful conversations that we're having among ourselves, but also just like people listening honestly feel connected and like understand what we're talking about. So for us, it was like, okay, let's take a break. Let's really evaluate like what are we not liking about this process right now? What do we like? We're 5 episodes in, like shout out to us. I think it was really just about addressing how we wanted to move on from this and, continue recording and just like the content that we really wanted to bring. Like, we really want this to be a chill space. And we love that, like, everyone was listening to us. Shout out to y'all who were, constantly reaching out to us during this break, making sure we were good. Um, but we're all good, family's great, mashallah, like we love to see it. We're just here to have good vibes and just good combos. Like at the end of the day, like that's what we wanted out of this, and that's what we're going to continue to put out. So, yeah.
Yeah, facts. And I also just feel like for us, like obviously the pandemic is not going away anytime soon. And that has a toll on everyone's mental health and just life in general. So I think just addressing that mixed with like everything going on in the system and just like as Black women, just what we deal with on an individual basis, it was just like not realistic for us to try to push out this much content. Like we weren't being real with ourselves, like trying to do all this work. Like what's the point if we're not producing good content and we're not happy with it? So we just have to keep it real with ourselves. And also personally, just like with everything that's going on back home, like in Ethiopia and, obviously affecting Eritrea as well with like the state of the conflict and the war, is definitely something that for me personally, I was like, how do we even post and like not be insensitive to like what's going on back home? Because like this affects us both very deeply, and it just didn't feel right to just be like uploading a new podcast episode knowing the state of our home country. So from like an emotional standpoint, we wanted to be respectful situation, also take care of ourselves to reflect on, okay, like this is really happening. But Lonnie, what do you have to say about all that?
Yeah, we just like also want to address the fact that like we're not about to sit here and, side with any political view. Like at the end of the day, we really do care about the human lives, regardless of who is being affected by this. At the end of the day, like human lives are being regarded equally here and on this platform. And we honestly like really put out like a prayer to all those people who are being negatively affected by this. There's a whole lot of corruption back home, and we really do pray that it's all alleviated soon, because it really does hurt us to see that people that look like us are just out there dying for no reason, for all senseless reasons, and that there's no regard for or humanity in general back home. And it's just really sickening to know that like people are, seeking refuge when we're just living here comfortably. It just hurts to know like we really don't have, that ability to help those people in the way that we want to. And so it was just really important for us to at least give a space where that this situation could be presented and be talked about and given that respect, because those people back home like deserve the respect of being known that they are struggling, and that they are suffering at the hands of corruption. So
Yeah, and just to kind of like close that out, like as Black women living in America, like we know what the system does and how corrupt everything is here in itself. So it's like kind of like double the weight of double the trauma is like this system I witness every day. It's in within my reach to see how this system directly affects my community. But like back home, it's just a whole different beast because you're just getting clips, bits and pieces, news sources, and just seeing how it's like directly affecting people. But at the same time, my hands are tied. Like, what can I do from here? And so, yeah, just acknowledging that it's okay for us to not feel okay. I think sometimes it's like you just want to squat, just cover it and just be desensitized because it's easier to not be in tune with your emotions. But I think part of the break is realizing like, yo, this is something that is affecting us for real. Like, we just need to take a step back and reflect. So yeah.
Yeah, and just like going off of that, really, like that's kind of just like what I wanted to talk to you about, Mani, was how are you feeling mentally and physically, as well as emotionally, really, about like just, during our break, seeing all this stuff happen, also trying to take time to yourself and reflect on, either goals you have been able to reach, goals you haven't been able to reach, as well as just like your want to be alive and doing things every day. How are you feeling?
I think so much of my goals, quote unquote goals, everyone has their little goal set list that they try to reach. I think I realized so many of my goals were, I don't want to say superficial or not achievable, but I think I didn't take into account how much my emotional well-being is just as important as like all the goals I want to reach. So yeah, it's good to challenge yourself and like push yourself to do better and like, say goals that you have out loud so like your friends can hold you accountable. But I also just realized like at the end of the day, like we're all human first and like you have to take care of yourself. And I think I was neglecting a lot of self-care the past couple months and like not taking the time to like sleep and stuff. And like, yeah, like we're in a pandemic and I have more access to my bed, but just like for some reason, my the case of insomnia has gotten worse. Like I just can't sleep like that. My diet has somehow gotten worse. Like I'm a foodie, y'all. Like Lonnie knows I'd be like bored. I'd be like, you want to go eat, bro? Like I want to eat. And so just noticing that like even within my own home and having access to all this food, I was just skipping meals and just depending on coffee and just getting this weird toxic workaholic phase, and I don't really know where that's stemming from. I think part of it is ignoring my emotional needs and like not taking time to reflect outside of like, when my friends check up on me, like I'm not doing that work myself. And I think that's what self-care is, like not making your friends your quote unquote therapist, but like doing that stuff yourself too. So I think I noticed that I have achievable goals, but it's just not realistic if I'm not taking care of myself. But yeah, Lonnie, what have you reflected on and how is that like, how have you been mentally, emotionally, goal wise, stuff like that?
One like huge part about this break that was really important was being able to reflect on the time that just I'm in right now. I feel like I've been in this constant phase of just trying to keep going, and not really reflecting on just what has happened. Even just 2020 like went by so fast for me. And like this time last year, Monty and I were traveling. Like it was really crazy for me to kind of just deep and understand um what was happening. And you know during this break, I'm very conscious during winter to be very focused on understanding how much my emotional health takes an impact during this season, mentally and emotionally, excuse me. um and trying to make sure that I'm combating like any type of seasonal depression I may experience. But I think one thing for me was I for so long throughout the whole past year was just kind of pushing through and not really addressing anything, whether it be like a good experience, a bad experience. I wasn't experiencing things in that present time, and it was just catching up to me. And I just felt like I was really just trying to make up for my past like year, but at the same time I was like I can't do that. So it took a lot of like refocusing and um just mentally getting back to where I'm at, and goal setting from this point, and just taking it easy on myself. I think that's just like one thing, especially as Black women, we just forget to do, like just take it easy. Like we can just chill for a couple of days. Like it's not that deep. Like the world's not gonna end. Like we don't gotta do the most all the time, but we just always feel like we gotta hold our back and everybody else's back around us, and it just never works out that way. So yeah, that's basically how I've been.
Yeah, I think it's like this idea that it's like, oh, if you're taking a break or you're trying to, implement some type of self-care, that it's like you're being kind of lazy. And I definitely feel that too, just because like even in the groups that I'm in, reflecting on like how to take care of yourself and stuff is like a common theme that we try to work back into our work. It's like I'm realizing I'm like I don't even reflect on that stuff. I'm like, okay, I have 20 things on my agenda. If I don't get one done, I'm a failure. And it's like that's just not realistic. Like you said, it's like you can't hold yourself to these such high standards, and like we're human, like we make mistakes, and we're imperfect beings in general. But for some reason, when it comes to work, I think I just like to dive into my work and like lose myself in my work in a sense of like I like to have something on every hour of my day. Like I'm like if I'm not doing something productive outside of my work after like every single hour, then it's like, damn, I'm just being lazy. Like I had a slow day today. I ain't shit. It's like, whoa, like the self projection is crazy. It's like you could just do one extra task for the day and still have done something. But I don't know why I equate that to failure. And I think part of like what you're saying is like you have this like this never ending, like I need to reach this, I need to reach that. And it's like you're gonna be chasing that your whole life. So it's like not realistic and not healthy.
Yeah, and I think just like adding on like one last point, I think we're so accustomed to just telling ourselves like, "Oh, take time to yourself. Oh, like take care of yourself." But we don't even know what that looks like sometimes. And then we just ignore it because we don't know how to address our misunderstanding of how to help ourselves. And I just think like it's such a common mistake among all of us that we just never really clock, that we just don't ever understand how to help ourselves. And so it takes us how many years to address, oh, well, I need help, but I don't even know how I need that help. Oh, okay, now I need to figure out how I'm going to help myself. So that's just that's just one thing I just commonly see and just have to always be conscious of.
Yeah, I think it takes time, and also we have to invest that energy into being like, okay, self-care really matters. Like I'm gonna invest the time to like do that self-care. I think the problem part of it is like living in a capitalist society is like everything is tied to productivity, at least for me. So I'm telling myself like I got 24 hours, you better be trying to crank out some, 15 out of those 24 hours, like or 23 out of 24 hours, like what did you do today? Like this weird evaluation of like you as a human being in this capitalist society. It's just so weird to me. Like I saw, I can't remember the tweet exactly, but someone was talking about this on Twitter a couple months ago. It's like, why do people feel the need to brag how busy they are? It's almost like a proof of like self-worth. It's like, yeah, Lonnie, I got 6 meetings today and two whatever other things I gotta do. Like I'm just so busy. And it's like this weird flex that you're being super productive and reaching your goals. But in reality, you're just your mental health could go to shit because of it. And also what does being busy have to equate with like your intelligence and like reaching goals? Like you being busy could just mean you're just a busy person and now your mental health is in a bad state. So I don't know. I just found that really weird.
Also, like I can make myself busy throughout the whole day and not accomplish it. So I don't even care about being busy anymore. It's like I just care about completing things. And my thing is like I'm trying to give myself more realistic times to like actually complete something. Like if I'm gonna do a project, for example, like I'm not gonna give myself 2 days to do it, knowing damn well I can't do that shit in 2 days. I'm gonna give myself a week, 2 weeks, when I'm actually gonna give myself that time to plan it out and think about it too. And like also being able to change your schedule, bro. Like I literally kid you not, how many times I swear that this idea that you can't change like your schedule, I constantly am always like, okay, I had this plan to finish at this time, but that's not going to work anymore. I don't try to like pressure myself to finish it at that time. I just like I know I have to just move it back, like keep moving back. Of course, sometimes that can be toxic, but like a lot of us just don't know how to do that. So my thing is being okay with changing my deadlines.
Yeah, it's like this weird internal deadline that you're giving yourself that's like super quick turnaround. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna have that draft ready in 24 hours. Like, damn well, I know I'm not gonna have it open. I have, season 6 of Love and Hip Hop open, probably not gonna get done for a couple hours. Like I'm playing, but it really do be like that. Like it's like I don't know, this weird need to work fast and work efficiently. It's just so toxic. Like I'm sick of it. I'm sick of us as humans having to feel like we got to do everything so fast. It's like what's the rush, bro? Like what did I gain by forcing myself to do something so fast? Obviously, you should have goals and like plans that you strive to reach, but you don't have to be super fast. So, with that being said, what's something that you look forward to for this year, Lonnie?
I'm looking forward to one and only thing, good vibes. Like that's it. I'm done with the trying to please people. I'm done with the trying to find friends. Like I'm just on vibes now. Like I one thing, let me tell y'all something. Me and God, we are just closer than ever. Like I kid you not, I hear a sermon and I'm about to cry. Like that's just the vibe. Like I'm just there. Like me and the Bible, like that's my book. Like I'm done with these trying to have friends, trying to please people. A shout out to the friends that I have because they're real ones. But yeah, like I'm really on some great vibes. I am just living. Like I'm tired of trying to survive. I'm living.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I'm going off vibes now, bro. This whole like everyone was like, I have a 5 year plan of like what I'm gonna do, da 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 da. All these, I said, scrap all that, bro. We going off vibes now. But obviously, like I have my little goals, but still, like done trying to make myself feel like I have to have these like strict timelines. It's like it is what it is. At this point, you're going off vibes. I feel like vibes is the best way to go.
Don't let your timeline dictate you. You dictate the timeline. Like at the end of the day, I'm tired of trying to meet a certain goal because that's what I'm supposed to meet at my certain age or my certain gender, whatever, like some dumb shit. Like I'm not doing things because that's what I'm structured to do. Like I'm gonna do it when I feel like I'm prepared to do it. Monty, how about you?
You said it's just me going off like I want good vibes, obviously, like everything to be good, but after the year everybody had in 2020. But the most I think probably looking forward to the most is hopefully getting out of quarantine, but it's not looking too realistic with the way niggas are not wearing their masks. Reverting out of like thinking about physical things like getting out of COVID and getting out of quarantine, I think probably just like being trying to find fulfillment and like happiness in myself. Like you said, like the whole people pleasing thing, it gotta go. Like I'm just sick of doing too much for people and then getting played. Like it gets old. It's like, I have subbed for people always, shout out to God. He keep me sane and keep me on the straight path. But like sometimes it really does take an emotional toll on you. And I think just not trying to do stuff for other people but doing it for myself first, I think is something I look forward to, trying to like reach that goal of like, okay, I'm gonna reflect on something. It's like, think about, why am I really doing this? Am I doing this because I feel like I have to do it, or am I doing it because I want to do it? So I look forward to just self-reflection, trying to heal, because I'm too broke for therapy. You feel me? Niggas is broke. But we gonna do ghetto therapy, which is reflection, and working towards therapy eventually one day. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, shout out to the self love because I'm telling y'all, self love be plugging you when you most need it. Like somebody might say some foul ass shit. I know the aunties are listening. Like they be saying some foul stuff because I have self respect, because I love the person that I am. It doesn't phase me. Like it really doesn't. Like for example, I got my hair dyed. Right, I have blonde hair. How many people have told me I look like a white woman? I do not, but I love myself and I know this hair is bomb purr. And I
She
know
looking cute. Purr.
purr. I'm not looking terp like some of these people. Can I get an amen?
Not terp.
But yeah, like even little things like that, like it really just it comes to show you like self-love is so important, and that's all you need at the end of the day. Like self-love, you need guidance from God. Like it really does you wonders. Because at the end of the day, like sometimes it might get really rock bottom, but it's all about how you can get yourself back up.
I mean, you said like self care is like all you need, but like personally, like I would like a nigga. Like I'm kind of tired of like the self care trope. I feel like we need to. I feel like I need to keep it real with myself. Like I just need someone else to give me some of that. But you should already love yourself first. Like don't try to get that out of someone else. But I'm just saying, like for myself, like it's getting old. I need some spice in my life.
Like that's the side, like the side complimentary side, like it's
Exactly.
okay, it's good to have, but you don't need it, you don't
It
need it.
it's a want, not a need. There you go. It's a want, not a need. Period.
Period.
Per.
Brr. But yeah, like going off of that, I know it's a new year, which I always, love to acknowledge. Some people love to, put out the whole new year, new me. And I'm just trying to know, Mani, like, are you on that vibe or are you not? Like, are you trying to stay true to yourself or are you really trying to fake it till you make it?
I'm trying to fake it till I make it. What is this new year, new me? I'm the same. Like, what? If it was new year, new me, bro, I would have been skinny by now. You feel me? Like, these thighs still here, this gut's still here. So, where's the new me factory? Because I need to sign up so I can become a new me. But no, in real, like people always try to be like, oh, I need it to be January, so I could like, do these goals and rework my life and all this stuff. I think that's just so toxic. Like I know myself, it doesn't take the start of a new year for me to get motivated. But I do think that like I have goals that I already had for myself that I might change because of COVID and stuff like that. But I don't think I want it to be tied to like, oh, if I don't hit this goal by the end of 2021, then I'm a failure. But I will say this on the podcast so niggas can come for me. Like I'm really trying to exercise, you feel me? Like this quarantine weight, it's really not looking cute. Like everybody on Twitter is like, oh, I'm trying to get thick. I'm trying to get thick. Yeah, you're trying to get thick until you can't fit into your jeans no more, nigga. It's not cute. I'm trying to lose this weight. I'm trying to be fitted. So I'm telling y'all, trying to get that healthy lifestyle. I'm telling y'all on the podcast, I hold myself accountable. I bought a jump rope and everything. So you're gonna catch me outside jumping. That's my new year, new me. But how about you? What's your goals and do you believe in the new year, new me idea?
I mean, for me, like I feel like we all had a phase where we tried the whole new year, new me, and it didn't work. And I think a lot of the reason why it didn't work is because people don't put intentionality towards what they like, are really doing. Some people do, don't get me wrong. When you put such a burden of switching by a date and not necessarily when you're ready, it really does change the outcome of what you're really trying to manifest. Does this date really signify something for me? No. Right? So at the end of the day, I'm doing something, I'm going to manifest things for myself when I'm ready, whether that be the 1st of January, whether that be December 5th, like it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the date doesn't really matter to me. It's about manifesting it when I'm prepared to manifest it and actually doing things when I can do it, not when I feel like it's trendy or when I feel like it's just cool enough to do it on that day. Like, let's say, for example, like I'm trying to lose some weight. Like, I'm not going to start it on January 1st. That's for me, it's just, it has never worked. Like, I did that and it was like insignificant because I wasn't mentally ready to, take on the challenges of, controlling my diet, exercising regularly. Like I wasn't prepared for those things. But on the other hand, like I've done it like where I just started in the middle of the year and it's worked out way better because I was mentally prepared for that. At the end of the day, you should do things when you're ready and just don't do it because it's the new year. I think I just change through experiences, not by years. So, yeah. I mean, I feel like I went into 2021 a little bit different since 2020, but I also do hold the same similar things as Lonnie was beforehand. So,
Yeah, I agree. Like for me, the exercising thing was definitely not like a 2021, like I was waiting for it to be January type of goal. Like I've been telling you this for like literally months. I think I've been telling you this since like quarantine hit. Like I was like, yo, I'm about to start exercising, bro. No cap. And then I would work out for like a week and then I'd be like, bro, I can't do this shit. I'm folding. Like I'm back to my old ways. So I think it's like
you
for
and
me,
I both.
I literally have my little YouTube videos up. I'd be like, no days off, blah, blah, blah. Such cap. I had hella days off because after the week I was done. But no, I agree with you. It's like it's different when you try to do it based off the month because that doesn't necessarily or the year, whenever that changes, it's different versus like you being like, okay, I actually want to start implementing a goal. I think part of it is just like the accountability part, but for me, it just happened that I so started to work out now. But yeah, definitely been trying to work out for like the past 6, 7 months. So yeah, I agree with you on that.
Sis, don't even worry about it, because on TikTok I see people working out. I got it all. Like, I'm about to start a whole album in my freaking photo thing of videos of workouts. I do prepare for these things. I just don't know when it's going to happen. But I am also going to be conscious of, okay, well, I've been talking about this goal. Am I going to manifest it or not? Like, that's just something that I do believe in. Like, I think you really have to decide that mentally and prepare yourself mentally for it. Like, you shouldn't just think like 2 days before the new year starts, like, oh yeah, new year, new me. Like, no, don't be doing all that. And don't wait a whole year. Like, don't start in January thinking about 2022. Like, don't do that.
I think it's low key just some weird mindset or capitalist idea of like them trying to impose these weird norms. Like, you know, how on holidays, suddenly everybody got the energy to do certain things. It's just weird. I feel like we have this fake idea that somehow with the new year, this new, energy or motivation will hold you throughout the whole year. But the reality is, it's like it's any other day in the year. It's just like what you make of it. So I don't know. I grew up always thinking like, oh my God, it's a new year. But it's like, nigga, I've been doing the same shit. Like the fucking calendar changed. That's what changed. Like, but yeah, I think it's more like keeping it realistic with yourself. Like, don't make it about the date. Make it about yourself. Happy Black History Month. That's unrelated.
That is related, period. We love the melanin. Shout out to all like the black people, especially black women. Shout out to the
It's the
black
black
women.
women. It's the
It's the
black women
black
for
woman
me.
for me.
Period.
You already know where we at with that.
Well, anyways, with that being said, we're going to close out episode 6. So thank you for listening and supporting our podcast. Don't forget to tune in to our previous episodes and look out for new ones as well. Make sure to keep up with us on Instagram at Shakur Entertainment and follow and subscribe on our podcast platforms to stay updated. Talk to y'all soon.